The chair recognizes Dr. Miller-Meeks for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Becerra, for testifying before the Energy and Commerce Health Subcommittee. As a physician, I have unlimited endurance. I just want to follow up to Dr. Bouchon and a comment you made. So during 2012 to 2019, ED treatment cost increased from $54 billion to $88 billion, a 5.4% annual renewal growth rate. Treatment cost, ER costs did not go down after implementation of the ACA. Just wanted to put that out there. When you testified before this subcommittee last year, I asked you if you would responsibly work with me on my legislation to implement algorithmic technologies at HHS to save taxpayer dollars by reducing improper payments, fraud, waste, and abuse. And you said we absolutely would look forward to working with you and that you are still trying to figure out how we can make the best use of AI and use it for the right purpose. We are in agreement that these technologies should not be used to deny legitimate claims and restrict access like what we see happening in some of the private plan spaces. My office submitted the legislative text for this proposal, and unfortunately, Representative Eshoo, I have to one-up you, a year ago for technical assistance, but we have not received it back from you. Yes or no, will you commit to getting this back to me within the next 30 days?
So
yes or no? Yes or no?
I was about to say absolutely yes, but I want to make sure.
Thank you very much. No Surprises Act implementation has been a disaster. According to the GAO, over 61% of 490,000 claims submitted remain unresolved in June of 2023. This means that thousands of physicians nationwide are not being paid and potentially going out of business, selling their practices to hospitals, or retiring. And this is on top of what's happened with Change. What is HHS doing to improve the efficiency? More importantly, your department said that you had the ability to penalize after arbitration, but claims are still unpaid. What are you doing to penalize bad actors who are not paying after arbitration has shown that their claims should not have been denied?
Right. And you may have, I don't know if you were here, Congresswoman, at the time, but I mentioned that the independent dispute resolution process does not involve HHS. So once a dispute is resolved, the winner in that dispute, if that winner isn't getting paid by the loser, we're not aware of that. And the only when a winner comes to us and says, wait a minute, we never got paid, do we get informed of that? So what I would do is encourage any provider that wins that you know of to please reach out to us, to our help desk, so we are informed, so that way we can take action because we are, under law, given the authority to try to enforce those judgments.
We will do that, and if it requires legislation which was not put in the No Surprises Act in accordance with the guidance given to legislators by HHS, who said that they had the ability to, in fact, enact penalties or get this recoupment. So we'll follow up on that. Under the Biden administration, Part D drug premiums are going up, plan choices are evaporating, and formularies are getting tighter, largely due to Inflation Reduction Act reforms to Part D. Essentially, the IRA has increased Medicare costs for seniors and continued Democrats' goal of limiting health plan choices, and eventually the country evolves into a single-payer socialist healthcare system. According to National Cost Data Report on Medicare Part D premiums by HealthView Services, Medicare recipients nationwide will pay an average of 35% more in 2024 for prescription drug coverage compared to 2023. Seniors will continue to see narrow formularies, more prior authorization and utilization management, more step therapy, meaning that seniors are paying more for restricted coverage. Secretary Becerra, I'm concerned that your management of the Medicare Part D program and changes that are going into effect under the IRA will in fact drive up premiums and lead to less plan and prescription drug choice for our seniors. Part D premiums went down 11.7% under President Trump, but are up 22% from last year under President Biden. The IRA calls for increased risk plans starting next year when Part D redesign goes into full effect, and plan liability triples from 20% to 60% for expensive drugs. Have you performed any analysis on the IRA's impact on Part D plan design to see how much more restricted seniors plans will be compared to how they were pre-IRA and how much more utilization management they'll experience?
Congresswoman, you just said a lot. I don't agree with much of it, but what I will tell you is this. Ask any senior on Medicare what they pay for insulin, and I guarantee you they're going to tell you they're paying a lot more. They ask a senior how much out of pocket they're paying right now for the prescriptions they need.
With all due respect, sir, the seniors in my district are all paying more for their drugs, but I will appreciate
That's on the drug
your
companies, not on Medicare.
Your pre-IRA analysis.
Yeah, but
So
that's
thank
on the
you.
drug companies. The drug companies are the ones that set the prices, not Medicare.
Last question, my time's running out. In February of this year, the committee subpoenaed the National Institutes of Health for documents related to NIH handling of sexual harassment complaints from within the agency and its grantee institutions. There are over 900 files related to sexual harassment to be reviewed. As you know, committee staff have been conducting in-camera reviews at HHS of sexual harassment cases reported to NIH. During these reviews, the documents have been heavily redacted. HHS has redacted the names of the disciplined, terminated, resigned, or transferred abusers, including individuals who were convicted of crimes. There's no basis for protecting these abusers' names from Congress. This is unacceptable. By redacting the names of all the abusers, HHS is preventing Congress from seeing whether these abusers are still receiving grant funding, or even worse, if they're transferred to a new institution and were then given new grant funding. Why are you protecting the identities of the abusers and institutions who house them from being shown to Congress?
We're going to have to take that in writing. I'm sorry. We're trying to get to everybody before vote. So Ms. Custer from the
Thank you. I
gentleman
yield
is
back.
back. Ms. Custer is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Becerra, you must be exhausted, but we're delighted you're here. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Great to have you with us. The Department of Health and Human Services plays